Aquarius, November 2023. So we have a powerful change, a new moon eclipse. Expect a powerful change in November 2023 for you. The theme of this is boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. What you're feeling is not yours, so let it go and create boundaries within your emotions, within your heart, within your soul, or within your root. Really grounding yourself to what is yours and what is energy outside of you. Be careful of the energy that you're taking in and the energy that you're absorbing and kind of taking on as your own, and being more conscious of people's projections onto you, because often with boundaries, if we're very open and emotionally open being, oftentimes the people or environments that we're in, if we don't set boundaries, then they can tend to project that boundaries are important, because the tendency, if we don't have boundaries and we're completely open to all energies coming in, then certain people can kind of push their own shit onto you that aren't yours, because they're trying to minimize their baggage. And so since you are a vessel, see yourself as like a backpack, and so like the energy you're moving throughout the day, the environment you're moving through, but you start accumulating that energy and that baggage, and when you come home you realize how much your backpack has been filled up. Be especially conscious of the energy you're calling in, if it's actually yours. So use your intuition if what's coming into your energy field, and be conscious where your energy field ends and where others begin, because that can help you understand where your boundaries are in regards to when you're coming outside or you're going outside of your home parameters. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the cell realm. So you are currently being helped from the spirit realm. This can be ancestors, this can be deities that are spirit guides that are assisting you in your spirit journey, in your human journey. Seeding the light, laying foundations, and the divine plan. You don't believe in setting the groundwork, laying that foundation to your plan, being the architect to your vision, creating the seed to what your prophecy is going to be. So think of it as like God's plan, like, but what's your plan for your life? Like, what do you want the vision of your life to be, your name when people recall you? This can be a calling to maybe work with, I actually don't know if there's such a thing as Anna, grandmother of Jesus. That, in fact, there actually is Anne, grandmother of Jesus. She's called Saint Anne, and she's mother of Mary, obviously. You can make your own discernment in regards to this message and use your own research, but she was part of a community of Jews which called themselves the Essenes. It's spelled out Essenes, and they're just a small group, small sector from the mainstream Jews that apparently had supernatural powers and unusual experiences through their dreams, visions, or inner voices. And grandmother Jesus actually did small teachings on Mount Carmel, is what it's called. The Essenes were, and there's so many sectors of beliefs within Jesus as the Messiah, so it's difficult to say what is true, what is not true of what's recalled in the Bible, and if the Bible is even an accurate portrayal. Some depict the Bible is actually a copy and paste from Egyptian scrolls and Roman scrolls, and the only full source that I could find was basically a channeled messages from a person that identifies herself as through the name Claire, and she channeled Saint Anne messages, but often the words she used were like, she used terminology that's depicted of the modern age currently, such as the collective, the conscious collective, and that's just terminology that I don't believe. If you're channeling a certain deity or certain person from the past, they would use terminology of their time that we would have to translate, but they wouldn't specifically use the conscious collective. Or even she recalls going through the Hall of Records with the help of John. It's just use your own discretion, use your own intuition. There is such a thing as Anne, grandmother of Jesus, but there's just not a lot of information on her, and the information on her is speculative, so it's take it with a grain of salt. But Anne has been seen as a secretress or prophetess. She was a teacher in the small group, and they offer themselves as channels to receive spiritual information of divine origin. There's a book on her called Anne, Grandmother of Jesus, and it's just a channel message through the author Claire, channeling Saint Anne, and you can use your own discretion if you're interested, but I just wanted to plug this information in this video in case you felt called to do your own research on Saint Anne. I do feel that you're strongly being called, Aquarius, to work with deities, because we see Anna, grandmother of Jesus, and there is Jesus here. There's Buddha. So this can be a calling to work with outside sources. If you work with deities or sacred entities, this can be a calling to ask for help, that there's outside sources making the shift for you. All the answers are within you. Theme of this card is external forces, influence, intuition. So you're definitely being called to not look outside of yourself for the source. You are the source. There might be a situation where you're trying to figure out your future, or you're trying to figure out your path and how your past has affected your present and how your present will affect your future, and trying to create this. And I do get that with the architect, as I was stating, where you're that you are the source, that all the answers are within you. So look inside yourself to find the blueprint of your plan. Like, this is the divine plan, so God's plan. So like, obviously the Bible was written by multiple sources, and there's speculation of what's true and what's not true, but it's like, when God wrote the Bible, or God made his plan, he didn't just it was orchestrated. First he had to figure out the sun and bring out the sun in the world. So it's like taking all these artifacts and bringing them together to create, so taking microcosmo or artifact and then bringing it together to create an abstract universal of things coming to light. And you're going to see the micro coming into the macro, and how it all expands and how it all comes together for your vision of what you're meant for. If you're buying tarot readings constantly, or there's this obsession with foretelling your future, this can be a signal to step back, to look inside yourself. That external forces are simply reflections of what is already inside you, and so that is, you are the crystal ball. And I'm seeing a programming, because this is like a TV monitor. Best source of what's going to happen in your life is yourself. Energy is fluid, it's constantly changing, and you do have control of what happens, because even if you make one tiny step, such as instead of waking up at 12 in the afternoon, you decide you're actually going to wake up at 5 a.m. That can change your energy. That can change your course of your plan, of your actions, of what's going to happen next, because you are the creator of your life and you do have choices. The energy is so fluent, we can grab the information. I'm saying that with the monitor is that essentially it's like the universe is the computer and we're simply just monitors. We're simply a reflection of what's out in the universe, because the universe is actually the computer, and tarot readers we can only take so much information to reflect that in the monitor on the computer. Like, we can't pull all the information, so not to crash the system. There's so many tarot readers because we pull in certain information depending on also the frequency of the tarot reader themselves, and if you align with the tarot reader. So the best source to tell your past, to tell your present, to tell your future is literally yourself. You have influence on what happens next. Okay, so the underlying theme of your energy is the tailor. Having the intention to detail, sewing, this can be healing, this can be in regards to editing, but paying attention to, and that's what I was stating with this oracle card, that it's in regards to paying attention to the micro that creates the macro, the details that make the abstract of the vision, of the plan, of the blueprint. Productivity, creation. The tailor can be also about closure, like sewing shut, cord cutting, snipping, cutting out ties to certain things, editing. But there's a consumption, I'm getting a creativity to the details, a creation of the details. It's focusing on the details of a project and then coming out of it to see how it creates a larger piece and how it unfolds. You see how paint is actually uncovering the details of the flowers. You're repainting, or you're painting over, moving into a new space and actually like covering up an old wall. Paint is actually uncovering, not covering, uncovering the details. Confining yourself, restricting yourself, keeping your pentacles to yourself. A lack mindset, depending on what other cards we'll see, and the cards are like trying to contain your coins because you feel you don't have enough. But the 4 in numerology is about having the foundation. When looking in tarot, we have to consider how the archetype connect to the past and the future. So 3 is the developing, creating relationships, creating the community, building up the foundation from the 3 to the 4 through working with others and learning the craft. But in the 4 pentacles, 4 numerology is often represented by the square because it's regarding the foundations. It's regarding strong, sturdy, resilient groundwork to what can endure, like stability into whatever you're building up in the 3D of what you can see. Because pentacles are what we can feel, the materialism. It can be money, it can be physical manifestation of product, but it can also be just physical aspects of the body, because the body is a manifestation of the physical, and pentacles are the physical of what we can see, of what we can manifest into reality. Maintaining yourself, you're reserving yourself, you're not sharing yourself with others, you're not sharing the physical. 5 of Swords is winning a conflict, but it is also a sacrifice in the sense of you win something because universal law, the universe takes and then it gives back. That sacrifice with the 5 of Swords, it's you've won, but it's in the sacrifice of something else that's been taken away from you in regard. It could be like a relationship or connection. So you've won something, but there's a sacrifice you had to give away in order to receive. You're going to need to reserve your finances in order to win saving up what you have, your physical, your money, your finances, in order to win a conflict. In order for a conflict to go your way, it's important for you to save up your physical coins, to contain, reserve your bank account, to not spend over your means, because reserving it will, you might need it in regards to the Five of Swords. This can be working with multiple parties, but often the Three of Cups is about celebration. It's about abundance. Often the accumulation of the grapes being thriving now on the ability to start mashing it up into wine, and often wine is correlated with social gatherings, and so Three of Cups is often connected with like social gatherings and celebration and things coming into fruition. Three in numerology is about manifestation, things coming into the physical realm. So there's something that you've been manifesting and that you're kind of, Two of Wands is that you're kind of looking out over your plantation. You're looking out over, you have the Two of Wands, and it's not the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is, it's already made the intention for the manifestation. It's waiting for the boat to come in. The Two of Wands is your, and twos are about choices. You see the Two of Swords, you see the Two of Cups. It's either coming together as in the Two of Cups, but there's still a choice. You're figuring out what you want. And so the importance of the Four of Pentacles right now is that giving you the ability to contain, the importance of containing your physical, what you have, in order to figure out where you can put your coins on in your plantation, or in your 3D, or in your physical realm, or in your environment, and kind of looking out in the world. And it's kind of a time of exploring where your passions are. It's kind of like looking out at your empire and figuring out like, okay, where do I want to go next? What do I want to do next? You have the world outside of you, and you have the ability to look out like a hawk, or the macro actually gives you the ability to look out at everything that's surrounding you and kind of zoom out to see what you want to focus on, or what you want to bring more into your physical realm. I'm curious about the Five of Swords though. Maybe a retractment of a contract, like you won something in regards to a court or a conflict with another party or parties. Five of Swords can indicate a contract ending, a relationship ending, but it's not a Three of Swords, so it's something business orientated or something property orientated. You're currently healing from this. Even if you've won, you're in a financial constraint where you feel you have to confine your money in order to win a case. Having the ability to be so high up and be able to look out at the world and kind of figure out where you want your next intention to be gives you time to heal. So you might be taking a step back in order to heal from the situation, and in that time that you're healing, you're looking at what's next. So you're healing in order to prepare for your manifestation. This can be heal in order to gain manifestation. So there is a sense of like a lack mindset in regards to kind of constraining yourself, not sharing your resources with others, people fighting over your resources and then winning. Like you've won the Five of Swords, but it's at a cost. I mean, the cost is keeping your resources to yourself. And there is a Three of Cups, which is an emotional celebration. And so you might have won property or something new that you're kind of now, and that might be why it's important to kind of constrain what you spend money on, because in the end it'll give you the financial security to kind of make a choice of where you want to spend your money or with who you want to spend your money on. And it's going to create financial abundance, because traditionally with the Three of Cups, grapes are associated with abundance and things finally coming into fruition where you can use the tools from the physical world. So again, even if it's a Three of Cups, it's still loosely associated with the physical realm of money and property, using the physical manifestation of the earth, that it brings up the seed that we plant of grapes, and then the earth feeds us, gives us the grapes, and then we use the grapes to feed and celebrate a social gathering. And so that might be why you need to restrict your finances. Let's backtrack. We see the Four of Pentacles with the Five of Swords. So this is something that you've physically had to restrain your finances from others, where maybe people are trying to get greedy, and maybe you're like looking at your plantation of expanding yourself to the world. I feel like this is a career reading where it has to do with like real estate, or has to do with property, or has to do with like career, your position in the world. To clarify the Three of Cups, this celebration of Five of Pentacles, we got the Devil, we got the Three of Cups again. There is some sense of bondage, of illusions, of addictions, of toxic connections. So I would watch the company you're around, because I feel that they're celebrating your win. The Five of Swords, they're celebrating your win because they need the money from you. There are certain people that might be counting on you but they're putting themselves in a state of lack constantly. So this might be individuals that are constantly putting themselves in poverty, overspending over their means, and they see your win with the Five of Swords, and your prosperity, your abundance, it comes from you restricting your resources and you setting financial boundaries within yourself to not overspend. So they're just toxic because the underlying energy is of lack, of being put out in the cold, and a very addictive. Individuals might be addicted to taking from people, because we have the fact we get Two of Wands and Two of Wands from two different decks. You are in a powerful energy to manifest. That's why boundary work is really important for you in November, because watch who celebrates you. Do these individuals feed the resources? Do these individuals give into or give to the growth of emotional connection, of emotional nurturing, of emotional celebration? Because that's what the Three of Cups is. It's a social gathering and celebrating, and things coming into enlightenment, where hearing rotted uproots, like with the grapes, and especially with they're drinking wine and they're celebrating, they're having fun. Inhibitions might be a little looser than usual, because you might get clarity, because the fact Three of Cups is clarifying Three of Cups. You might get clarity on who kind of doesn't have your back, and so that might be where the sacrifice of the Five of Swords comes in, where it's like Five of Swords, we have Knight of Pentacles. So this is a slow moving energy, something that you've won between parties, a conflict of intellectual minds. Payment might be due. With the Three of Cups and the Five of Pentacles and the Devil, I'm getting that individuals might be all joyous and celebrating because they feel they're obligated financially to you, or they're obligated to, there's this like an obligation to financial obligation to being tied, like there's toxic relationships in your life that are tied to you, or they're in your life because they're using your finances in order to, in order to feel an intoxication about their life. So the devil is referring to using outside sources in order for us to feel temporarily satisfied with our life. People are using your resources in order to get off. Knight of Pentacles and the Magician card in order to clarify the Five of Swords. So this is something that you've won in regards to a conflict, intellectual argument. This can be a contract, figuring out who goes what, who takes what goes where. And a pentacle will be paid to you. I mean, it'll be slow moving, and that's why the advice is to really constrain your finances in this, even if you will win. But this is a manifestation of getting the coin, of the offer of getting your next pentacle. Although, careful with the Magician, because the Magician is also seen as very, in the dark energy of the Magician, it can be in regard to illusions. And we have the Devil and the Magician, which can be a very powerful energy of manipulation. And with Four of Swords, Nine of Pentacles adding to the Four of Pentacles that you have goes into the conflict of Pentacles. So the conflict of your being left out in the cold. It doesn't have to be constraint of your finances, but it's someone's being left out in the cold of a celebration of some sort. There is a manifestation. You have the world at your disposal.